Hello, everyone. The much anticipated eye test is back. It's myself and Bath Time, and we are a bit disappointed to be talking about this game, but there's a lot of valid points Bath Time will be making today. So join us for the eye test. Bath Time with Vaughan. We are back. It's been a few weeks, hasn't it? Because of all the Queen's issues and everything else. We haven't had a show, haven't had many games to play, but we were back on the weekend and we got to cover the 6-3 defeat. But I'm quite excited. How are you feeling, Bath Time?
Yeah, I'm feeling all right, despite having something I shouldn't have eaten earlier today. But I'm doing all right. Been through this match and stuff, and as always at the start, I feel that we need to remind people that myself and OMONDI have played football at decent levels, like reasonable levels. We have no FA badges, and all that kind of stuff. But we love football, and we think that we know enough about it to show you some stuff. However, with Man City, I'm going to be honest, I'm really out of my depth in some of these things that we're going to see. But there's a lot to go through tonight, and hopefully we can sort of show you what went wrong, what Ten Hag's trying to do, and all these kind of things. That's my goal on Monday. What about you?
Yeah, exactly the same. I love football. Doing the eye test is something I've always wanted to do, and I've got a perfect partner in yourself. We can bump heads and go into a lot of tactical stuff. I've learned so much from this show, and I think got so much good feedback about it as well. And like I said, we don't have UEFA badges. We're not qualified coaches. We're involved in football for years. But I love the game. I've started to incorporate some of these observations that we're making into my Sunday team, manage the Sunday team, and I'm really confident talking football now, and we're getting good results based on just the fundamentals and what we're seeing. Football is a simple game, isn't it? No matter what level you are, and I think it's one of the best games out there tactically as well. There's so much to it, and I just think people can watch the game and cheer and make a lot of noise, or you can really, really watch the game, which is why we call it the eye test, and really observe. There's a lot of fine detail going on, and this is why managers are paid so much. So just want to say hi to CM22ENT Cement, is it? Or Cement? I saw you earlier. Bath Time was on your show. I watched the show. Fantastic show. Great energy, guys. Love what you guys are doing. But I'm glad you guys are tuning in, because Bath Time is here. Bath Time with Vaughan, and he's got a few things he wants to show you. Your Caribbean boys, West Indian boys, isn't it? So he's got a few things he have to show you. So just hold tight, and we soon come.
Yeah, I'm delighted to see Cement here. I thought that was really funny earlier on the show. If you want to see what happened, check out my Twitter. It's very funny when a group of people who have never been introduced to Darius and his bathtub before begin to hear some of my opinions. It's really fun.
I've watched the whole show now. It's a brilliant show, and
they're good lads.
Yeah, really big up. Realist United, and you guys top draw. Love what you guys are doing. Want to say hi to Box as well. He said the inquest is on. Yes, for sure. Matthew Bassett's here. Say good evening to us too. Thank you, Matthew. Big up to everyone in the chat as well. He's saying, Box is saying good evening. So let's go. Oh, before we start, of course, Super Nick, how you doing, girl? She said hi, guys. Big up to Super Nick. We really admire you, and big respect. One day you're going to come on the show, I hope. Anyway, let's get into it, because if you look at the title's called The Third Man Run. And it needs a lot of explaining, I think, because after the game, there's been a lot of inquests, as Box was saying here. People just repeat. I've said a lot of people repeating what's been said on Sky Sports and that kind of thing. But hopefully we're going to give you something different today when we go in. Before we do, a couple more comments. Cement saying, thank you for the warm welcome. Can't wait for a great lesson. Not a lesson. It's just, an observation. Big up to Super Nick and everybody in the house. Let's go. So I'm going to open up the screen. The screen is up. And
all right.
Everyone says we got battered. But I think we played pretty well. We're trying to do the right things, I imagine. But here we go.
I don't know about that, Omondi.
I thought we did okay.
We'll see. Okay. All right. Well, this is the thing, right? That really confused me is that we definitely had a game plan for this match, and it's in terms of the press, it's brave. Basically, what we did, like with the press, I think people misunderstand what a press is a lot of the time. A press is not about winning the ball and closing people down. A press is about providing high quality opportunities through turnovers. Like, it's so important that you're winning the ball back with a method to score. Because if you're just trying to keep someone in their own half, that's just a block. And we're doing the weirdest press I've ever seen. So I want you to talk me through this, Omondi, and then we'll break down exactly what's going on here. And I think that this is the 2nd minute of the match.
So City have got the ball right back to centre back. The goalkeeper, wonderful keeper, distributes the ball well. He pops it to Aki, left-footed. We're trying to hold him up. Aki just rolls it to Cancelo, and it's gone back to the keeper again. Keeper's got time here. He's looking up. He can pop it off. He pops it simple to the centre back, right side of centre back. He pops it forward into feet. Haaland, and suddenly Haaland gets closed down by 2 marauding guys. Is it Ericsson? I'm not sure.
It's Scott and Varane. Now look at this, Omondi, right? I know a lot of people, I can't see the screen at the moment, but I suspect that Happy Birthday Box, is going absolutely mental about Rashford, because what you would expect from a normal press here is for Rashford to get on this man here, Sancho to get on Akanji, Foden to come out to Malacia, and Malacia to get on to Walker, and you leave Foden and Grealish unmarked, basically, and hope that the ball doesn't get to them. But with City, you have Ederson, and Ederson, I'm not joking, is probably the best passer in that back three of Ake and Akanji, and he can hit these balls for breakfast. He'll hit them all day. So Ten Hag decided that. This is what I think he decided. I think he didn't want Ederson on the ball, was number 1. So Rashford is giving Ake the space here, but he's blocking off Ederson. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is this. We've got man mark. Look, Scott and Ericsson are man marking the pivot players. And what you'll see... Yeah. Like what you'll see, Omondi, that we talked about with Arsenal, is that you will get Xhaka and Partey or Lokonga moving out wide here, trying to create this gap to get it through to Jesus. Now, I think the plan is, as I play this, I think, and this is crazy, but I think that Ten Hag thought Haaland has got the worst touch and is the most likely to lose the ball on the City team, and you can see here that we have vacated a big channel into this area here. Haaland has very few touches on the ball for City, but he's going to come back and he's got to deal with McTominay and Varane. And like whatever you think about McTominay, you don't want to be in a physical battle with McTominay if you can avoid it, right? And then the ball gets played through here, and I think that's a trap. But also, I think it's a bit stupid because if you're a forward, it's incredibly easy to win a free kick with your back to goal in the centre circle. I'm not sure what Ten Hag's doing. Like,
what you're saying here is Ten Hag had a game plan to sort of allow them to play into Haaland based on his touches per game is not very good.
That's not what I think. High. Yeah.
And that was a trap that we set for them.
Yeah, and you can look, if I take it back to frame 3, you can see it's happening repeatedly. Like, look, that's there.
But if you stop right there, the only passing option we're allowing them is to Haaland.
Or to Grealish.
Okay.
Or to Foden. But the thing is that I think Delo and Malacia are ready for these passes.
Yeah.
Like I think that that Ake knows the system well enough that isn't a pass that he's particularly happy to make. That's a better pass for him because it's central. You win the free kick, you get out. But it's
and you can't miss Haaland. He's about 6'5", isn't he?
Yeah, like look at that. Like look at that. Like a double pivot of Haaland and De Bruyne. Crazy. And the weird thing is, Omundi, it actually worked. This is in the first half. And I'll play it and you can commentate on it and then we'll break it down.
Okay, so our keeper's kicked it out. It's gone straight to Walker, right back. Gundogan's got space, back to goal, looking around, drifts back to the centre-back. Ake plays it to the right side of the centre-back. Now it's gone back to Walker, who's being trapped by Sancho. Is there a trap here? Oh no, the Foden's able to pop it back. It's recycled back to left back to the centre-back. We're shuffling our players all over the pitch here. We're losing shape, and suddenly again, it's gone into Haaland, who actually gives the ball away. Okay.
And Bruno gets the pass wrong.
I remember that pass.
Yeah, it comes from the press. It's really weird what he's doing because when they get it back, all right. So this is classic City, where although their fullbacks didn't invert as much as I was suspecting. Like you can see here, shout out everyone in the comments who knows what that structure is. Yeah, they've got player out wide. They've got a striker like occupying the central areas. They've got De Bruyne and what's he called, Silva, able to get into half space areas. So this is exactly what City want, and they're going to start recycling it. And here, Sancho, in like. You would expect Sancho to be getting out to Walker and Rashford to be applying the pressure and trying to direct it this way or this way. But Sancho doesn't really do that. He gets out to him, but he's in a block. He's not putting any pressure on him at all.
Yeah.
And so the obvious ball is Foden, which they hit. It gets played back. Rashford on Walker. All right, so this is all perfectly normal as like a press, and then this is where it gets interesting. So Edison just hits Cancelo the way that he can, and there's this gap here that looks pretty tasty, but this is a trap.
Yeah,
that is a deliberate trap.
Like you just highlighted before.
Bruno should be there. Yeah, they're doing this on purpose, and I'm not quite sure why. And there, look, now it's opened, and I don't think that this is City manipulating us. I think that this is Rashford and Sancho being told what to do, which is to have too much space between them for a central ball, and Varane is tight on Haaland, but it's not Varane who wins it; it's Martinez. And look what Martinez does. He steps in and he gets ahead. And this is what a press is, boys. That is a high quality opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, and those are the sort of things that we're looking for. And then Bruno drops in to get it, but he's too febrile. Like, he's too super excited. And he doesn't.
Rashford. Eyes. Come on, vision.
Like, or even
he showed against Arsenal some great vision, didn't he?
Yeah, or even just pop it to Eriksen. First time, pop it to Eriksen, and we can drive that ball in.
Third man run.
Well, yep, okay. But Bruno, he's in two minds, it's
gone.
And then what's even worse is fine. Like the opportunity goes, but he loses the ball. When we can just we're a possession team now, we shouldn't be doing these kind of things. So I was really fascinated by this in the first half of Monday, that we decided that we were looking to win the ball from Haaland in the centre of the midfield, and because normally when you press, everyone knows this, you use the bylines. Because these never make a mistake. So you want to be winning the ball in these areas. It's almost anti-football to be winning the ball here. No one does this. So it's It's revolutionary, to be honest, what we saw from Man United there, and it didn't revolve the way that we wanted it to. But it shows
It
that
could
Ten
have.
Hag's a thinker.
Yeah, it
Like,
could have.
all
I see
right,
a lot of positive for a big man like Haaland to be able, because people say he was asked about Messi, and Pep was asked about Messi and Haaland, and Pep just straight away said, "Well, Haaland needs players to play for him to help him. Messi can do it on his own, but coming deep and maybe being a bit more influential in the play, in the build up, maybe that's what he's trying to employ here, Haaland, because twice now he's come deep to get the ball, but he's been pinched here by our butcher." This
yeah,
is the opportunity. This is the opportunity, man. Come
so
there.
frustrating. It's so
Feed him.
frustrating.
Jeez, please.
And it's not
That's
just him. It's
hmm.
Sancho. Sancho and Bruno all day were doing this. They like. Um, this isn't a discussion about like sort of psychology and things, but it seemed to me that they were scared and they didn't believe in the tactic, even though they were doing it. And Bruno has got to learn pausa, which we'll get into a little bit later. But I'd like to see the comments because
Let me just say this, because I've got an issue. I don't know whether to sign out or come in again. This big ad has popped up and I can't get rid of it. It happened to me a few shows ago. So I can only just see the top half. So I'm just going to go through from the top half here, and we'll see what we got, because I can only see a few. So Box is saying Casemiro and McTominay playing together with Eriksen ahead. That's a suggestion there. I want to say hi to Realist United. Big up, man. Go and check out their channel. Saw your show earlier. Really good show. Now is in the house as well. Super Nick here as well. Yeah, so there's a few bigs up. I can only see 3 at a time. So here we go. Matthew Bassett said, I had gone with a diamond midfield box. Fred, McTominay, Casemiro, and Eriksen. Then we sacrificed width, I suppose. Love people. What's up? Yeah, we're all good. Thank you. Niall is saying 5-0. I don't know. You're going to love this, realist, says Super Nick. All right, here we go. So Matthew Bassett saying McTominay and Fred could have gone man-to-man with Casemiro covering and supporting them. So here's a few suggestions for you guys. Box again is saying, I just feel Rashford was ultra passive. Felt like they waved the white flag a little too much. Just looking for...
All right, just like whilst you go through the comments, I know what box means, because I know a lot of people are getting increasingly frustrated with when it looks like Rashford isn't putting the effort in up front. I know this sounds counterproductive, but he's doing what he's told to do. And it's why he's starting ahead of Ronaldo, is that his job is to basically funnel the ball into an area. Like whether that's their worst passer, whether that's where we're going to press. And Rashford is doing it well. I know it doesn't look like it. I know it seems crazy that he's just walking about thinking about what policies he's going to enact when he becomes leader of the left. But it's what he's doing.
This one from Box quickly said, when the ball did break for us, the attackers fluffed their lines, wasted opportunities. City turned over possession, killed us. Want to say hi to Pat as well. Pat saying, make sure you legends. Thank you. So here we go. So Cement is saying, true at blocks. I also agree, Matthew Bassett, it's about the quality and composure of the personnel on the pitch, having that belief, as the manager said. And that's all I can see at the moment. So keep the comments coming in so they shuffle up to where I can view them, because at the moment I can't.
Do you want to sign out and sign back in?
Sorry, guys. 1 second.
Yeah, we're normally much more professional than this, but there's been a problem with Omondi's computer, but he'll be back in a second. So I can see the comments, and one of the big things that's coming through is about how our players were awful when they had the opportunity to do something with the ball. I think that this is something that, like, this one's for you, Box. As some of you might know, I've played football in Latin America, and there is a concept in Latin America called pausa, and it is what it sounds like, which just means pause. And the problem with Bruno Fernandes is that he's the least Latin man I've ever met. You give him the ball, and he just wants it out of his feet straight away. He just boots it. It's like, you see that film Armageddon? Like, if NASA came to him and said, look, there's an asteroid coming and we've got this really sophisticated bit of scientific equipment that we need to sort out, I'd be like, lads, don't worry, give me the ball, and he'll just boot it up there, because he doesn't have pausa. And what we need from our players is we need the ability to put your foot on the ball and wait for the opponents to react to what's going on in front of them. Yes, you will get counter pressed, and you need to have the technique to deal with that. But this is what happens when you play elite level football. So I hope that that's okay. And let's see if this shares my screen. It doesn't share my screen because we're waiting for a Monday. But have we got any more comments coming in? No. What did you like? What did you lads think was the problem in the game then? Okay. So we'll just go through a few things here. So I can see that Matthew is saying City are going to do that to most teams this season, to be fair. Yeah, I agree with that. Pat is asking for likes and shares. I'm not that bothered about likes nor shares. And what else have we got here? Reality check. It just shows how far behind we currently are. Well, I think that this is the case that happened with this match, is that we went in to kind of see how far behind City we are. Like with Ollie went in to just to do his shithousery and all those kind of things. Oh, my man's back. I feel like Jolene Parton or whatever her name is, Dolly Parton. All right, so is everything working then?
We putting a number out, working 9 to 5, huh?
Mate, yeah. All right. Okay, so is everything good for you?
I'm all good now. Hopefully it won't come up again. So I can, guys, get the comments in because I'm ready to go. I'm going to put the screen up again for you, Bath Times.
Yeah.
There we go. You're up again. Let's go.
All right, wicked. So this is City's first goal, Omundi. Can you give us your famous commentary, please?
So let's go. So once again, playing the ball around. We start to engage when it gets to our half. But here we go. There's a good cover shadow there from Anthony. Sancho. Oh, this is the opportunity I felt where we were in on goal, but he messed it up. So there's a break here. Got players ahead of the play. Oh, lovely. The centre-backs come into the midfield there. Now Foden's running across the line. Grealish is in space, picks it up. Gundogan plays it wide to Cancelo. He looks up and plays the ball, which we predicted there, into Silva, who squares it. Oh, my God, so much wrong there. But so much to see, yeah. Grealish, back to goal. This is what I'm saying. Play the way you're facing. City do this so well. That ball. So Sancho is in. Look, just like we said with Bruno earlier, there's 2 opportunities there. Mm-hmm. You could have played Bruno in if he would have made the right decision and had the belief. So anyway, we've got to get back in shape. We are in decent shape here, but Foden into Grealish, who's not picked up, plays the way he's facing to Gundogan, who plays a triangle, and Anthony's lost in the Bermuda triangle there, plays it wide to Silva, squares it, simple cutback goal, what we see so many times with City. And that's from us being in a great position there to sort of counter press them. I'm really disappointed. I remember
so annoying.
Yeah. All right. What do you guys think about that in the comments? But anyway, let's go.
All right. So when we start off, we're in a nice shape. Like there's nothing wrong about this at all. Like the lines are decent. Okay. And Rashford, as Box would say, is being passive, but Rashford is setting what I call the PK trap, which is where Jose used to do over whenever Jose beat beat Barcelona at Real Madrid, he did it by getting PK to come out into these areas carrying the ball. And this is what we're trying to do with Ake, because even though Ake is a good passer, again he's not hitting these passes, and Rashford's blocking off most of the pitch. So we look good here, no problems. As we play it, we're not great here. You want as Ake goes forward, you want Anthony and Sancho to be matching those runs, right? Because you can see that Eriksen has dropped in to form a back 5, which is absolutely fine, and it's what we see happening all the time is that on this side, which is the ball side because Ake has it, one of our pivots goes out here into the half space and the other pivot drops in. But when we have Alanga gets back and Sancho normally gets back, which allows us to outnumber them in these areas. So Anthony,
which is the right thing to do.
Yes, Anthony and Sancho have got bad marks from me here, and the ball gets played. You can see that I don't know if you noticed that, but Varane
Again.
tracked Haaland. Yeah, it's
Mm.
I'm not making this up. There's something going on about they think that that's
Yeah.
the key to victory. But we're all fine. So Cancelo on the ball. Delo comes out. I'm unhappy with Anthony here. Um, he's just not working hard enough. And then then Anthony does all right, because what Anthony is doing is he's finally got into the position he should be, and he's blocking off the pass to Cancelo.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at it just one frame earlier, Grealish had the opportunity there. I know I didn't show it properly, but Grealish had the opportunity to pop it off first time, which is why
Yeah.
I was unhappy with Anthony's work rate. We've got Bruno in a reasonable position. I think that Bruno should be there, and I think Sancho should be there, but that's not too bad. And suddenly, there's not really a pass on, except for this bloody pass again to Haaland. But you're going across McTominay, and you've got basically our three best physical players ready to spring. So I quite like this. And then, like, Grealish panics essentially, because all of the passing options are closed down, and Delo has just curved a little bit there to stop the run on Haaland, and Grealish has just mishit the ball basically, and it comes out to Sancho, and this is a gift.
Stop. Remember I said about busting the gut? Remember I said about Bruno busting the gut?
Yeah.
This is what he did. I think, look, he realised it was on. It was on for a split second, and he made that run, knowing it's a bit like Eriksen did breaking through Arsenal. Look at their shape there. There's three sort of scattered. There's no real organisation in the back line there for City, because they've just given the ball away. But I feel one pass into Bruno, and then you got Rashford there. We're on. So I'm quite positive about this.
These are the movements that I've done, with the exception of maybe a Akanji goes in for the counter press. That is that's a system error. But these are the movements you would expect to see. So Bruno goes there, and Rashford goes straight, and we've got an amazing opportunity. But Sancho panics. No pausa. No pausa. Sin pausa. And then, right, so we've been counter-pressed there.
Yep.
These players, Rashford, Bruno and Grealish and Sancho, have got to break themselves to get back in front of the ball.
Damn right.
And Anthony's got to get central. And like Delo in this position has to get central. We need a block in the midfield, right? That's the first thing that has to happen. It kind of happens, but Eriksen is scared of De Bruyne, and there's too much of a gap there. And what happens with gaps?
It gets exploited.
Bloody centre backs run into them these days. Now, these three, I'm unhappy with. One of them, I don't mind one staying forward for the rest attack. That's fine. But we're on a transition, and Anthony, he should know that he's got to get on to Silva so that McTominay can get in the middle.
Yeah.
And Sancho has got to get here for the same reason, so that Eriksen can be in the middle. Right?
Sure.
The work rate of these two is what's costing us here. And then the ball gets played in. Pause it. Sancho's done okay now.
Yeah. Where's Anthony?
Back. Anthony is doing what I call video analysis defending. When I was at the university at Omundi, we used to get the tech department to come and film our matches, which, as you can imagine, was hilarious. But after about the second week of our matches being filmed, a left winger used to do this on our team, where instead of tracking back, he would attach himself to someone that was the least dangerous player and say, look, I'm doing my defending. And this is what Anthony is doing. Look at Sancho. Shot. Sancho is on this side. Yeah. Anthony is on that side. The parallel is that for us, we've got to get Delo in there. We've got to get Scott there, and we've got to get Anthony there. Yeah, we need McTominay We need McTominay there. Delo and McTominay are doing fine here because they're adapting, but Anthony is not helping us. And also Bruno, he's just get in there, mate.
Yeah.
Get in there. So anyway, this continues, and then this drives me wild. And we'll explain after what our new concept. But Bruno has to be there.
Yeah.
Bruno has to be there. We need a block. And Anthony has to be there. These two players are wildly
What zone is that
position.
again?
The SSAs.
Zone 16.
Zone 16. Do you know what? Someone told me the other day it's actually like in Europe it's called Zone 14. But it'll always be Zone 16 to me. But sorry, for anyone watching that's new, this area here we call Zone 16. And you have to have most of your players in this zone when you're defending, as a rule of football, because that is where most of the goals come from. If you leave this area, if you have more players in this area than the opposition, you'll score. But like statistically. So that's why you have blocks and so on. And then the bloody third man. So now Anthony has realised, like, Delo's done the right thing. Okay, Delo has dropped in to make the back four and protect zone 16. We're giving up that space there because Bruno, he's still not busting himself, but Bruno should be there to block off that pass and to force it there.
Yeah.
Right? And Anthony should be here because you're going to see what happens on this side if you don't already know. But look how easy this is for Grealish. And then it's the third man.
1, 2,
and they're out. And look at this.
But saying that, look, all the principles that we've been talking about, we're still in a decent position here.
No, we're not in a decent position because we're down.
Back forward, and Dalot's got into the block there. Okay, yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, okay. There's big gaps. Yeah. There's big gaps here. Ericsson is in the middle. We know that we don't want Ericsson in the middle. This is the most hilarious height mismatch you'll ever find of Haaland, Martinez, and Malacia. But the problem is this man here and this man here. Bruno has to be there. Anthony has to be there.
Good. I agree.
You lose matches doing this kind of stuff. And Delo and McTominay have been pulled out for the last minute or so because of Anthony and Bruno's work rate. And then this. All right, I'm going to give my perspective on this on Monday about what happens with Ericsson and Foden, and then I want you to come back to me.
Yeah.
On a defender. So, as many of you know, I'm a midfielder, and one thing that we talk about a lot with our strikers is this, where I'll just load a fresh one up, which is about how you use space on the football pitch. So if I'm here in half space, and this is my striker, and this is the defender, right? That is the space that I'm looking to hit there, yeah? What I don't want my striker to do is run into that space. I want him to leave that space unoccupied until my body is set and I'm ready to pass the ball. And what I want my striker to do is I want him to be in this position and then get on the blind side of the player, and then I will hit the ball normally when I see that particular defender's head turn, because that defender has got to scan. So as he scans, that is the cue to attack the space.
Yep.
As a defender, like, look, how often do you hear the expression, the striker is on the last man's shoulder? The reason the reason you have that is because the defender doesn't know where the striker is, and he forgets about the space that he's meant to be protecting. So when you're on the ball like that, a proper defender, in my view, drops into that space.
Okay.
Because that is a lot harder to score from
Yeah.
than that position. So I think that the defender should drop back in. Now, you are an actual centre-back. What have I got wrong there? Because Eriksen, in this position, Foden is going to make that run around him. Eriksen has got to get into this area here.
Yeah.
He's got to get
as
there.
Eriksen's not a defender, we've been shuffled about. We've got Delo playing centre midfield, Scott playing right back at the moment. But Eriksen, really, truly, if he knows the ball's coming across, you've got to scan your man and be able to scan the play as well and get in front of the man, so the guy can't get there first. So get ball side.
All right. So what's scanning, Omundi? You can demonstrate it. I can't.
So basically, Eriksen's can watch the play, scanning the play, and he's watching the man the closest to him as well. So if the guy decides to get on the shoulder, as you said, and peel in front of him, he's going to get found out in the next day when they do the analysis. So he needs to scan both the play and scan the player as well. So which means sometimes you have to sort of take a little step back and just have a bit more vision. Fisheye vision, I call it, where you can look at the man, look at the play at the same time. So Eriksen should be scanning that and knowing where that zone, I run this zone. If he wants to come in, he's going to have to come through me. He's got to have to come, block his run in some way or get there first. So I'm going to clear up.
And what age did you learn this, Omundi? Because I remember how old I was when I learned about like how to protect and attack spaces.
You know what? Some of these things you can't teach. Some of these things just natural. You should know. It's an instinct thing, and especially if you're a defensive-minded player. But really and truly, yeah, if you're coached at any sort of level, you would know this. You would sort of protect the space in front of you, the zonal space. Just going to charge up the battery's going low. But
14 years old is where I'd expect a player to know about how you defend the space, not the man in these situations. Like I am staggered by the defensive liability of Eriksen in certain games. Have you there seems to be quite a lot of kerfuffle going on at your end, Omundi? Is everything all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. I've just they're saying battery's low. I don't know why. Everything's plugged in. But anyway, yeah, go ahead. Sorry about this, guys.
All right. So I think I want to highlight what we're going to talk about next. So we're going to highlight this, then we're going to go to some comments, and then it's time for a lesson, unfortunately, where we're going to teach you a principle of football. And the principle we're going to teach you is the third man run. Because this triangle here to release Cancelo is something that City do all the time. And it's called a third man run. And look, that is beautiful. So the next part of the show is that we're going to talk about third man runs, how to defend against them, how to do them, and if United can do them. But first, Omundi, I'd love to go through some comments if you're electrically sound.
Yeah, let's go. So there's a lot of comments coming through. Just going to touch them now. Emma saying, honestly, even if we'd scored in the first half or if it wasn't 6-3, we just looked so weak, like we were running with weights on our feet. Box is saying, technically, we were fully fit for Varane. We only conceded one goal. Box is saying, Fernandes has been a disappointing. Talk about Bruno. We've seen the quality of Eriksen, the difference to Fernandes. But we are dissing Eriksen here for his physicality, I suppose. Superman saying lack of defined roles and no fluidity, so no plan B or C. Realist United, big up saying the midfield was nowhere to be seen and Bruno needs to lose that free role. High five. I agree with you there. Cement saying, I think for the most part, going forward, we were wasteful with our opportunities on the ball. I agree. Again, that's a good point. As we highlighted earlier, there were moments where we need to slow down the game and have patience in possession. Good points, guys. City were clinical, says Box. Brutally clinical, to be fair. But our heads dropped to 2-0. All that galvanized belief, it evaporated. Nice words play. Gavin Ward saying should have had 2 CDMs, Scott or Fred and Casemiro and Eriksen as a number 10. Gavin Ward again is saying the fullbacks got punished. They were running out the ball too much. They should have sat back and directed the ball down the flank. Stand up your man, he's saying here.
I disagree strongly with that. The fullbacks.
The fullbacks
had no chance in the game because of Anthony and Sancho not helping them out. We know Delo is a decent defender, and there's been a huge difference between. Do you remember when your brother Dan Juma roasted Delo at Villarreal or Vallecano or wherever? It was because Greenwood wasn't offering him any protection. Our defence has been so good because of people working, and in this City game, as we've shown, Anthony and Sancho weren't working hard enough to help the fullbacks out. So they were being swamped, flooded, as opposed to playing badly. So sorry, Gavin, that's my opinion on it.
Box is saying I thought Anthony would be fully up to speed with Eric Ten Hag ball. Cement saying maybe Box a lapse of concentration or communication from others. Because we are highlighting a lot of things here that we didn't expect from Anthony. Because beforehand, I remember saying Anthony, he does trap back. He does do a lot of things in the Ajax system. So it's a bit disappointing what we're seeing here. I want to say Pat Lawless is saying couldn't be better. Thanks for asking. He's getting a lot of love, Pat Lawless, if you saw the show earlier. And that's about it for now. We just want some mods in the house.
Yeah. Have we got adult dating again? Not judging anyone. If you want to find someone.
I want to know about it's the theme of the show is the third man run. Can we get into it? Can we really get into it and explain what's going on here?
Yeah, we can do third man runs. Okay, so you should have my screen shared. Let me know when it's all up.
Yep. Third man run is ready.
Okay. So we'll get some players on the pitch. All right. A third man run is a 3-player combination. Right? That's the first thing. So everyone is familiar with a 1-2. Where you know what a 1-2 is. The ball, you play it in there and it gets played back out here. 1-2s are actually very, very simple to defend against, to be honest. They only really work in wide areas. You can deal with them. They're not very effective. It's why you don't see a lot of them anymore. What you see from possession-based elite teams is the third man run. And there needs to be a couple of things that happen for a third man run. The first thing is that everyone needs to be on different vertical lines. Okay? This is a huge part of possession football where everyone knows that you have lateral and horizontal lines, and possessional play in football works by having, say, 2 or 3 players on the lateral line and then 1 or 2 on the vertical. And the reason this happens is for the third man run. So all these concepts that we've introduced over the last 6 weeks, do you see how they're all binding together on Monday? Almost like we planned it. So the third man run is that you will have your lines like this. So this is the enemy block. What you will normally see is you will see a player move in between the lines, and the ball will be passed to him. Right? Very simple. Yep. This guy will come across, this guy will come, and it will be popped off to the third man. Now, the reason why this is so effective and so important is because the third man is receiving the ball in front of him in space, moving towards goal. And normally what you will see with someone in that position is that they will change the angle of attack. So So they might even send it backwards, but they will normally send it down here. And this doesn't sound particularly complex, but that's what a third man run is. It's where a player drops between the lines, plays a first time ball back to someone who's receiving in space and is driving forwards. And I'm going to show you an example from our team, from the beloved United of Manchester, of us trying to play third man run combinations against Manchester City. Against City. It was in this game, in this very game on Monday, we tried to do third man runs. And so this is from a throw in. I'll play it, you commentate on it, and then we'll point out where the third man runs are.
Okay, so Dello, right back, plays it back to the centre back. He's under no pressure, squares it to Martinez, who pops it into Ericsson, who's got created a bit of space here. Ericsson just slowly drifting forward, head up, pops it into Rashford, who pops it first time back to feet. where he's facing into Scott, who plays the ball out as an outlet to Shaw. That looked like a third man run to me. Third man run, yeah. Shaw recycles it, plays it back to Ericsson again, who plays to Martinez, who pings it into Rashford again. But this time Rashford holds up the ball a bit and gives it away.
Perfect. Okay, so this is the concept of the third man run coming here. So it is Ericsson, Rashford, and McTominay. These are the people that are going to do it. Rashford is going to drop in between the lines. Rashford drops in between the lines.
Nice.
McTominay holds his position, which is unusual, but it also shows intelligence because he can't. I tell you why it shows intelligence, because Rashford can actually turn here and play Bruno in. Right? But Rashford is playing the third man pass, which is absolutely fine. And then when we talk about changing the angle of attack,
yep.
we see we've got it. So this is us going from here to here with both. When McTominay receives it, he's in space and he's got the time to play the switch to Shaw. This is excellent football. And this is against one of the best football teams in the world, possibly ever. And then we try it again, but we don't do it. So nothing's on, and Shaw recycles, which is fine. And now this is a much better third man run position because Martinez, Rashford, and Scott are all on different lines. The ball gets played through. Pop it.
Yep.
Rashford, just pop it. He doesn't. Rashford gets it wrong. He turns into play, tries to play it to Lindelof.
In a nice zone there. He's entering zone 16.
Yeah. Right.
Wow.
So these are third man runs, and I want to talk about my training of third man runs, because I like the best football team I ever played for was my university first 11, and it was full OMONDI of people that had trials at Peterborough United. They would have made it, but they were too small or had a knee injury. All this bollocks that people always tell you. Yeah, no, they were good. They were good quality players, and we tried to do third man runs, and we did training sessions. And we were fine at it. And then we tried to do it in a game, and it was an absolute nightmare for several reasons. This is why they're so hard. Let's get rid of number 4, and we'll have 1, 2, and 3. So the way that this works, right, is that all 3 of these players, they have to know that there has to be a trigger. Everyone's got to know that the third man run is on. Normally, the trigger is that someone comes between the lines.
Yeah.
And that means that the third man, let's just put another player here just for the sake of it. That means that the third man has got to get on the blind side of the number 4 quickly. Mm-hmm. The reason he's got to get on the blind side is that no one's going to see like that.
Okay. Now
your midfielder has to play the ball through. Obviously, and if you want a legitimate criticism of Scott McTominay doesn't. When Scott passes between the lines, he absolutely drills it, and that's for me. That's fine because a Manchester United player should be able to control the ball and turn. Mm-hmm. But for a third man run, and this was my job. I was number 1. The ball has to be perfect, and what I've got to do is I've got to give the number 2 the ability to work his defensive man onto this side, because I know the number 3 is the blind side run.
Right.
And I know that the number 2, he has to get his arse in the way. He has to position himself, and then he's got to play the perfect pass to the number 3 that has run in on the blind side. And in matches, this is what happens. You play it through, the ball bounces off. You play it through, it works, he plays it behind. Or he plays it too far in front. It is like, to anyone who thinks they're a decent footballer, try this in a match. Try that layoff with a guy that is running and isn't standing still. It's why you only really see it from the top teams, because you have to have supreme confidence in the men around you to do this. Because if you lose the ball, you're this man that you have tried to outwit is now ahead of you, and you're on a transition, and that's extremely scary.
What would you say, bath time? So, what sort of communication? So, with a 1-2, you say twos, or again, or pop it back, or something. With a third man rumble, who you as number one, would you be indicating to the guy catching eyes on him to say third man run, or is that too much information?
No, like
what sort of communication would you say? What would you say in that situation?
Well, that's the thing, is you can't communicate it.
Right.
Okay, it's got to be rehearsed. It's almost like a set piece where, like, the three. So let's put them in a vague block like this. So I'm being pressured here, and they're trying to get me to pass it away from the center. The two goes, and and the three has got to be looking for it and drifting off.
Right.
I can't tell him. Okay. And I can't tell the striker. It's got to happen, but you see it developing in front of you. Because if you have another man here, let's say I'm playing with my pivot, I want my pivot to just move back a little bit and try and get the guy that's here to move there. And so we just make a little corridor there, and then I think I'm gonna try it. But I have to wait to see that the striker or the forward or whatever is ready. And I know that in this case, I have to put the ball there. So if I think that he isn't awake, I can't play it, because otherwise it's going to get pinched. So your man has to spin and then come in. And then after that, this three has got to be there.
Right.
It's so difficult.
It's got to be automatic. It's got to be drilled. Yeah. It's got to be happened over and over again. And Pep's clearly got that done. But you highlighted Man United also doing this. We've given two examples.
We are doing this.
Very good. It's nice to see.
What I'd like to talk about is that when people discuss, like, we need Gakpo, we need who is it, Osimhen and Kunku, or whatever players. Yeah. Get me a player who can just do this, who can just get in and pop it off and third man run, and we will easily get Champions League if we have that player. That player could be Martial. I'm not sure yet, because we haven't seen him do it in the league. We just saw him do it in friendlies. But that is the profile of player we're looking for. And just to put this into perspective, how hard this is, Haaland can't do this. Ronaldo can't do this. Like, this is an elite level skill that some strikers have never had to learn.
Yeah.
And that is why I think we were targeting Haaland for the press. Do you see, boys, how we try and weave it all in together?
Can I just stop you there? Just a couple comments here from Super Nick. So she's saying, if the three are unable to execute the third man run, the team becomes vulnerable very quickly. So if we do give the ball away there, so just like we saw with Rashford, he in the second phase of our third man run, he gave the ball away or dilly dallied on the ball, and he gave it away, and then they could have broken on us, which is a great example, Super Nick. That's why I rate you so highly. And also, Super Nick is saying it takes trust and elite teamwork and training as.
It's all on the coaching. It's all done off the pitch. It's the long hours that you put in coaching. Like, you don't just put people out and they can do this. It's taken Pep 6 years or whatever it is to get to the level that he's at. And we'll show you some third man runs from City next.
Please do. Let's go.
You want them now, or do you want to do more comments?
There's not many comments. There's a lot of mod bots going on. So yeah, but there's two key comments was what Super Nick was saying. I'll just repeat this as well. If the three are to execute the third man run, as you said you've done it in training and you just about got it, but you couldn't perform it in games at halftime for your university team. That's right. So 100%. We do become valuable if it doesn't work out, but you have to be on the page, don't you, with people? You have to be on the page with the same sort of players, knowing that you can put the trust in them to do what they're expected to do there. Going back to the graphics now, I love this third man run thing. Let's go. Let's just run with this.
All right. Okay. So give us the commentary.
All right. So we've got Ericsson. Okay, we're giving the ball away there. Now Grealish, they're deep, popping it around. Oh, that's a nice ball into Silva, who's taken up a wide position. He holds, waits up, plays to Gundogan, who makes a quick pass to Grealish. and he's in and plays it to. I remember this goal. KDB's in the half space where he loves to be, and yeah, that was a beautiful pass and finish. So Grealish 1 to Aki to Cancelo to Silva, which is 1. He's the 1, I imagine here. Gundogan is the 2, and Grealish. Is that right? Grealish the 3.
Yeah, it's a variation of the third man run combo here. And this is what does us over. So
just first, sorry, let's say we look to do in a couple of passes, they've gone in and scored.
Yeah,
it's amazing, isn't it? I mean, it's so hard to beat. And you're right about the third man run. I think 1-2 is fair enough, but that was magnificent, to be honest. Even though I'm endorsing City,
I know it is magnificent. Now, the first thing to notice here, Omundi, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One of these players here is out of position. Someone has got to be here, right? And Malacia should be more tucked in. A rest defense is like this, where you want 3 people in the central area. You want 1 in the half space. You want 1 in the half space. Look at this. We've got this is just messy. And it's fine because we can reorganize and football is fluid and stuff. But you would be looking at this. You would want one of Scott or Delo to get in because Bruno ain't never getting in the rest defense. He's just not that guy, is he? And then
he's better to play.
And then look, Delo makes a crazy run. This is desperation, and I think Ten Hag will be livid with him for this. But he makes a crazy run. Eriksen tries to ping it. Edison catches it, throws it out. Whatever to Grealish. Now, Scott is sort of doing the right thing where he's covering this area, but I'm not happy about this.
Yeah.
Bruno has got to be there.
Yep.
You put Bruno here, we're in a much better situation because we've got. Sure. Look, if we look at our lines, Bruno has to be there, and then we've got a rest defence, and we're in a better position to defend. But City don't care because they're City, so they recycle the ball. And then this is a bloody pivot, and look, Scott's been dragged out, and I will accept if someone tells me that they think that Bruno's role was to man-mark Gundogan. I completely agree that that's what he's doing, but you also have to adapt, and you have to realise that you've got to get in a block.
Battery problems. Hold on. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So now here we see the third man run combination, where we've got the 3 lines, and Gundogan is slightly off the line from Silva, but it doesn't really matter because Bruno, who is not in the right position, is meant to be man marking Gundogan, but he doesn't. And look, it's just a simple through the lines pass, and he spins. And then look, Bruno hasn't stopped this pass, and he's not bloody here, so they've got all this space to go into. It's so frustrating. And then you know the rest. So is there anything you want to add to on that goal?
Yeah, look. I'll tell you when to stop it because it goes to De Bruyne. Stop. Okay. All right. No. There's nothing I need to add. I think Eriksen and Scott are sort of trying to get back into their block. I do think Sancho and Anthony need to get back. We've given the ball away, but you have to have a bit of urgency. And once again, it's just a great ball. I can't criticise this.
Look, from here, this is, I mean, to be honest, if we lose this match 1-0, there's an argument to be made if Martinez is too small for the Premier League. I'm not making that argument today, but anyone who's over the height of 5'10" cuts that ball out. However, the real issue is that this shape is absolutely fine if the ball is there, but it's not there. Sancho needs to be there. Anthony needs to be there, and Bruno needs to be there. And if Bruno is back here, Eriksen is able to get out earlier. and you've still got protection in the middle, because we want to be protecting this area here above all. So Scott and Ericsson can't vacate this area because Grealish is just going to run through. And then we get hit by football magic. And that football magic is David De Gea unable to put his leg out to stop a shot from 4 yards. Unbelievable goalkeeping. It's terrible goalkeeping. But shout out to Haaland, because I think only Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne in world football can combine to score that goal. So maybe I'm being harsh on De Gea, because I've never seen anything like that before. It was like Tekken or something, this kung fu kick that came out from Haaland. But as we're getting towards the end of the show, have we got any comments?
Yep. I sorted out my issues, but yeah.
All right, let's have a look at the comments before we move on to the last bit.
Box is saying some good points here. He's asking you, because we're talking about what sort of striker role would be ideal for Man United. You mentioned Morata, for example, the way he plays.
I like Morata, yeah.
Especially playing in the third man run, that sort of move. And we've seen Rashford give the ball away a couple of times. So I mean, he's asking what sort of player would emphasize the role that you want there, Vaughan. And he's
the two that come to mind
here, sharing them.
No, the two that come to mind are Cantona and Berbatov. Cantona was fantastic at layoffs, and so was Berbatov. Sheringham, I agree, but I think Berbatov and Cantona were better footballers and more useful. I know he got a treble and he scored in it and stuff, but I would think Berbatov, because the man oozes sex when he plays football, and I don't think of Teddy Sheringham. I can't erotically fantasize about Teddy Sheringham, but I can about Berbatov. So they're great
at using their body as well to sort of block, because you mentioned there the key point, fine detail about getting the right side of the defender and being able to sort of stop them coming through you, so you can play that first time pass as well. So two good examples actually, both from Man United. I like that. Coming on to Gavin Ward. Gavin Ward saying, if the number 9 drops off this, shouldn't the wingers be running in behind for the ball over the top? Another option, etc.
Of course, yeah. Like it. Of course they should be. But the thing is that the ball over the top is something that we don't want to be playing. Like, you don't see City playing the ball over the top very often. What you see is third man combinations in wide areas and then a pullback to a specific area. And whilst I like balls over the top, I like driven channel balls, all that kind of stuff. With all the data that the Premier League coaches and things have for analysis and making their comparisons and stuff, that would suggest to me that you don't get as many goals from the wingers running in behind as you do from pullbacks from half space areas.
Cutbacks, Big time. Agree. Mark Edmond, all the way from Australia. How you doing, Mark? He says, too many players in the offensive half, out of position, Bruno to blame. That's what he was saying from the last phase of play we saw. Counter numbers, he's saying. And Super Nick saying Gundogan knows what he's doing, holding Bruno hostage, so he's totally out of position, knowing the threat is at the other end.
That's a good observation. Yeah, I think good. I've always wanted to ask Super Nick, is that a World of Women NFT? I'm not allowed to talk about NFTs on this channel, but it looks very similar to one, and I've always liked them. They're very good. But yeah, I think that Super Nick is onto something here, where she knows that if Gundogan just stays in his position, Bruno doesn't have the nous upstairs to understand that he's got to get back and help the team. And to be honest, I don't know if he has the desire to. So now,
is it desire, or is it the intelligence, maybe? And also, just to add, I think Rodri usually plays in that position, doesn't he? I'm just going to put the screen up. Rodri usually plays in that position, and Gundogan came in after a great international break and performed really well. And the last time he'd done that, I believe, was in the Champions League final, which they lost. People say Pep made an error by doing that, but I think Gundogan gives you something extra and different, and I don't think it was an error. It's just unfortunate.
Well, he basically played the same bloody team that he played against Chelsea against us yesterday. The same. Gundogan isn't seen as a central defensive midfielder. Pep, he brought out that team against us. It's annoying.
Yeah.
So I don't know what this is. Yes, I do. Give us some commentary on this, Omondi, please.
All right, just stop before you do. obviously, I know about rest defense. I know about the third man run. And I know about people cheating. We've seen Bruno and other things. So we got the ball here. So I'm quite happy with this play. Let's go see what we got. Scott is retreating, playing away he's facing, giving it to the goalkeeper, who turned out to be a back three man now, playing high up. Gets it back from Martinez. Is he under pressure? De Gea. He passes it to Martinez, who knows it composed. Passes it to the left back. Shaw's coming to the pitch. Scott makes a nice run there, picks it up, pops it, makes a triangle, all the way recycled back to the goalkeeper, who hits out Dalot. I remember that ball was a bit dodgy, but it reached him. Lindelof now engages, gets forward, sort of similar to Varane, engages the play and pops it off. Playing it around defense a little bit here. Eriksen picks up the ball. Nice penetrating pass into Sancho now. Sancho plays it to Shaw. Shaw plays it back home. Eriksen into Scott. Oh, no, it goes to Anthony. And Anthony shoots from outside the box, and that is a beautiful finish. And it's a lovely kind of move there from Manchester United. So big up to United.
Just a little treat for you lads that we actually showed a goal. There's actually a hell of a lot wrong with this goal, but I just wanted to show that this shows what happens when you play out from the back and you keep control and you don't panic. Of course, City have dropped off their levels. Physically, it's in the second half and stuff, but this is what this Manchester United team is capable of doing. We are capable of playing it out from the back. Like McTominay, I wasn't happy with this pass to Shaw, to be honest, that we're just going to see here. This is dangerous here. That he's got the opportunity to release Sancho, and I know he's a good enough switch passer to hit this space here for Anthony. So we could get even better. But I thought I would just show you boys that
nice move
before
and a nice goal as well.
So that's some good stuff from Anthony. And I'm afraid we're going to see if I can.
You like balance, don't you?
I do. Now we're going to see something. This is a disgusting goal. This is the worst of the lot. Omondi, talk me through this disaster.
Okay, so similar, we've got the ball here again. De Gea out to Eriksen, who managed to get it to Sancho. Sancho's got the ball, plays it back to Eriksen, but he's been closed down there, hunted by Gundogan, who Super Nick seems to endorse right now. She's right. Who pops it off to KDB, who plays it wide to Grealish. Now Grealish is holding up the play. He's got an overlapping runner. There's a 1, 2, 3. Is that another flipping third man run?
Yes, it is.
Oh my God. Guys, you seeing this? My God. Jeez.
And I've deliberately exaggerated this one. So that everyone can see Cancelo's run.
Can you just highlight what issue you have with this? Okay, Anthony. Oh yeah,
Anthony and Casemiro. Look.
I see already. Yeah. Can you guys see that? Bath time's right. Look at this, Anthony.
Look. Okay, so Anthony, he can see Cancelo, right? Can see him. Gets the ball there. Cancelo, he sees the run. He knows he's running. Casemiro, this here isn't too bad, to be honest. When we look across, that's okay. Silva, you would say, is a bit of a worry, and Rashford or Sancho have got to fill in. But apart from this, we should be able to defend
Bruno?
this. Bruno's here, but Bruno, that's okay. Bruno's on Gundogan again, so just one of Rashford or Sancho has to get on to Silva. Or Shaw is going to get overloaded. But, Anthony, this is disgusting. This is disgusting. And this is what I mean, Gavin, when we talk about how you were telling me that Dalot needs to stand players up. Dalot's in a terrible position here because Casemiro should be there.
Yeah.
Right? So Eriksen should be there. Rashford, let's just say it's Rashford. It could be any one of them. But you need 2 players there so Casemiro can come out and help with Grealish, and Anthony should be matching that run.
Yeah.
This is woeful from Anthony. Absolutely woeful. Okay, so Casemiro's all at sea. He didn't. I showed him on day a clip before we started.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if
For
you
all
look at
let me just say this for all the guys endorsing Casemiro. I know he hasn't played many games as yet, but there was a clip that Bath Time showed me. We can't show it on here, but go and look at the final. Was it the 8-6 goal for?
yeah, it's a 6 goal. I might put it up on
Yeah,
Twitter later. It is
yeah,
shocking. If you
6
got
goal
annoyed
from
with
Man City.
Pogba,
Wow,
wait till you see what Casemiro was
wow.
doing. But now look at this. This is outrageous
So from
from
being
Antony.
level with Cancelo, now he's like yards off
That's
him. Allow the guy to kill off him.
outrageous.
Just
And
strictly, sorry, can I just say this is a third man run again? I
yeah,
think Super Nick's picking it out already. She can
yeah.
see it, and
And
it's
the
a
thing
really good run. Yeah,
and the thing is, right, is Delo is doing the right thing. Okay. Like Ericsson, you would want a bit closer. Casemiro, you would want closer. Sancho's got to be in there, or Rashford's got to be in there, preferably both of them. Um, but like Delo does the right thing here, but Anthony doesn't, and because Delo is tracking is like compacting the block, he's coming in with Grealish. It's giving that space for the ball through there. And if you remember earlier, we were talking about how good strikers leave the space. That's the
yeah,
space, and Haaland is leaving it. In fact, Haaland is probably going to take a step back when Martinez scans and then go.
brilliant. Yeah,
And that's what he does. Do you see?
damn,
He's left the
that's what he's
space.
very good at.
Yep. He's left the space. De Gea on this occasion has literally no chance. I mean, I know it's right at him, but
But
you know,
the
if you drive a
speed.
train right at me, I'm not. I'm, you know,
With our hands, yeah, I
yeah,
dare you.
I'm not going to do it. And so it's. Do you know what else frustrates me about this? Is look at the
What's that?
position that we lose the ball in. This kick from De Gea doesn't even clear the halfway line.
Yeah.
Knocks it in, and all right. So we get counter pressed. You know, fast prey counter press. Stormzy shout out. Gundogan comes away with it.
Yep.
Anthony, mate,
Sharp.
you need
This
to
guy.
get back here. Bruno, you need to get back here. Rashford, you need to get in here. These lot all need to compress, and that block
They
there
do.
needs to shift over. Right? Yeah, but that's what we need to do. So let's see what happens. That's not too bad. I'm a bit disappointed with the space in between here, because a player as good as Casemiro, or with his trophy haul, he should be
Yeah,
dropping into this area
totally.
here.
Totally.
Ericsson, Sancho, and Rashford, because Bruno is applying the pressure,
Yeah.
should be making a block in front of it. So you'll get a line there, and Casemiro operating between the lines to stop Silva and Haaland doing their juju. And Anthony, I
Did you
mean,
say Juju?
yeah, Ten
Oh,
Hag
God.
here, like this is Ten Hag. He wants to go and kill Anthony at this point. Right, I'd be up for attacking him for this. Get into, look, you
Yeah.
have to be there.
Be there, exactly. Yeah, agreed.
You've got to be
Totally
there so
agree.
that we have that, so that we have the block. Oh, it's disgusting from Anthony. And then this is the fun. So these are the three that are going to
Third man
combine.
run. Wow.
Yeah, these are the three that are going to combine.
Cancelo knows
Grealish,
it's on already, doesn't he?
yeah,
He knows already. Yeah.
he knows it's on. Look, they're all on like vertical. They're all on different verticals, and that is a clue that something is afoot.
Sorry, can I stop you there? We've got a comment here from Realist United, who's very observant as well. Great comment. He said City used the half spaces so well for the third man run, especially on this move as well. So credit to you guys. It's a great comment.
Yeah, well, they're like City are obviously this is the half space here.
Yeah.
City want the ball in the half space because obviously it pulls people in from wide, it pulls people in from centre, and essentially what happens is that Cancelo's going to ghost in. Well, not ghost in. He's going to announce himself. Like,
Andy, I'm going. Are you coming or not?
yeah, it's like something off like at the catwalk or something. He puts the theme music on, runs down. Anthony's just watching and loving it. But Delo is going to go central, and they're going to exploit that with the half space there. So it comes out, and you can
Oh,
see De
that's
Bruyne
lovely.
holds himself in
Yeah.
the half. He's in between the lines. You can see Casemiro has finally woken up and realised that we've got to get a man in between the lines. So Casemiro's taken matters into his own hand here, which I like. It's too late, but I like it because Eriksen has to be there. Right,
Yep.
so but
So true.
Casemiro is like, I'm just going to get in my position, I'm going to get in front of De Bruyne, see what happens. But he's gone too far. And it turns out Eriksen was right. If Casemiro has just been taught a lesson from bloody Eriksen about how to play central midfield. Unreal, isn't
Wow.
it?
Wow.
Unreal. This is appalling from Casemiro because you can't do this unless there's a block in front of you. And there
Yeah.
isn't a block in front of you. And De Bruyne, look, this Foden can be the third man here if they want to switch it.
It's true.
He can pop it. He can pop it off there, and then you've got Cancelo. Then you've got three men attacking this area here. There's
Yeah.
so much going on for City here, but once again, Casemiro out of position, Eriksen off it, Delo overwhelmed, and Grealish has done so well here because he's pulled Lindelof and
Yeah.
Delo to him, which is the right thing to do. Like
And
Delo
he's on the back post with his two shortest guys again.
well, Shaw's not
You
that
mentioned this
short,
earlier, didn't you?
but Shaw's not that short. But Haaland,
Yeah.
he's got a 2-yard run on Martinez.
Yeah.
Martinez literally has to just like he just has to bum him essentially, stick his bum
Yeah.
out, and sorry, I know that sounded bad, but he has to stick his bum
No,
out
no, we get you. We
and
get you.
try,
Block the run.
and try and block the run. And you would also want De Gea covering that area there and making it easier for his two men there, but they don't, and then it gets in. And if we go back and we look at United trying third man runs, now we're all familiar with the concept. This is how far behind Manchester United are to Man City.
So Martinez plays it into Eriksen, head up into Rashford. 2, 3. The third man run is Shaw.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect, that. But this is the problem. Look, Rashford, half space.
Yeah.
Central area, half spaces. United are in a really good position here because we've got wide, half space, central, wide. And Delo can't come in to fill this half space here because of a very dodgy rest defence. But if Shaw moves around here, then Delo can get in, and we've got every central area plugged.
But it is encouraging, though, to see us doing this sort of play as Man City play. And if it comes off over the next few months, we will be sort of enjoying the eye test for sure and talking about the third man runs. I'm sure the people in the comments will be watching it live maybe this week against Everton, hopefully, if we sort of turn it up. Can I just go through some comments quickly?
I'd
There's
love
a few
you to.
here related to this. Gavin Ward saying, I know you lose a man doing this, but wouldn't it have been wise just to mark KDB out of the game like Park did with Messi? Opinion, lads. I disagree.
Straight no from me to do that.
Yeah.
Play the block, don't play the man.
Yeah, exactly. Super Nick saying, I noticed with all the third man runs, the City players are very professionally sound and seem to end up in similar areas, zones when they score. Yes, it seems it's well rehearsed. Realist again is saying City use half spaces very well for the third man run, as we said earlier. It's a great comment. Box saying this reminds you of the Brighton game, open game of the season. Players not dropping. Gavin Ward's laughing at we need to put his backside out. I'm not going to say the word, but yeah, what Bath Times said. Matthew Bassett saying, do you think Casemiro will start against Ammonia or Omona Thursday
Ironapper FC?
Sunday? Yeah.
I think he'll start on Thursday. I would be shocked if he started on Sunday. McTominay got taken off with to avoid a yellow card for me. And if you see what Casemiro did for the 6th goal, he gets beaten by Grealish, Like, he sells himself against Grealish, essentially, and then he strolls like a guy in the
Pathetic.
park
Absolutely pathetic.
on the way to break up with his girlfriend.
And the thing
It
he
is,
could have got back and got himself into shape
yeah.
and position, and it would have made a world of a difference, but he didn't. I don't know
I,
why, but he
and
didn't.
it's, you
That was
can't
wrong.
reward that attitude. Like, I
Yeah.
don't care what you think about McTominay or what you think about Fred. Fred was the best Brazilian we had on the pitch, like, at the weekend, because he put the work in. Anthony and Casemiro played like they were hostages. Like, it was awful. Shout out to Chile
Comment here.
FM.
Yeah, he's saying, I think that when we play against big teams, we have to make everyone come down and defend like close-up spaces, because City can play gaps just like me.
Okay.
Must be a good baller. I'm looking for a Sunday league player if you want to come down and play for me. Box is saying, I'd start him. Matthew, he needs minutes. And Matthew Bash said, I agree, Box, and also some match sharpness. So they're talking about Casemiro. But go and check out the 6th goal or half-time highlight in there, honestly, and come back and say that.
It's shocking.
Stockholm syndrome already setting in.
Hope so.
Right.
But just before we finish, one thing I'd like to say is that, like, this game was always a bit of a free hit. I'm fairly sure that Ten Hag went into this match to see who had the minerals to play. It's fine playing this way against, like, I don't know, Bournemouth or Everton or teams that you've been beating all your life. But against Man City, to play this open, this aggressive, this crazy press that we tried, I think he was sort of trying to see who is up for it, and who's kind of got the bottle, and to see how far behind we all are. And I have seen so much from United that is so promising. I know that in 8 games, we've been 4-0 down twice at half-time, which is outrageous. But you need beatings, you need your licks to get progress, because that's how you learn. And
you don't lose, you learn, as they say.
Like, and I know it was devastating after this huge wait for football to see that performance, but I wouldn't worry too much about United at the moment. We're going places. We've shown enough in the games we've seen beforehand that this team is going somewhere, and there's a lot of stuff that we can do. There's a huge amount we can improve, but I wouldn't be too worried yet about Ten Hag and about United. So don't listen to people that monetize gloom and anger over Manchester United. Talk to me on a Monday. We are pure in heart and soul. And, well, at least he is. We hope that, like, that with all this stuff that you can enjoy it. We're seeing third man runs and things. And we hope that you can see that in the games against Everton and so on.
You know, today's all been about third man runs. We've not only seen City do it, they're the masters, they're the black belts of it, and it's really impressive when you really break it down. That's why I love your graphics, Bath Time, because sometimes when you watch the game, you don't see all the park, you see just what the camera shows you, and to see the third man runs in display on the graphics that you highlighted there is really, really excellent for me. I'm looking at it thinking, wow, but it's so getting a team on point is so difficult. And we're a long way off that, but I think it's encouraging that we've seen ourselves in this game, especially as well. There was a stat that came out. This is the most a team has sort of created or against City in about a year and a half than what we did against City the other day. And they might have taken their foot off the gas, but we did have moments, as Realist was saying earlier, in the first half where we could have counted on them if we made the right decision and got in on goal. Maybe it could have all been different, but I'm not too gutted. I've seen a lot of encouraging things today. I know we lost quite dreadfully, you know, the scoreline. A lot of people are mocking us and you get involved in that. But breaking it down, I feel okay now, Bath Time. So thank you. Thank you for that. I'm just going to finish off with a couple of comments. Cement saying this is great. Thank you. Cement, big up. Go and watch the channel, Realist United channel. Really good stuff. Love your energy, guys. Love what you guys are doing. And big up to Vaughan as well, because he joined you guys as well today. Go and check out that show.
Yeah, they're fun lads. They're fun lads. You should all go and look. They're funny. They get angry about Harry Winks. Like, I didn't even tell them about my Paul Pogba should be a right back theory.
Yeah. Don't start. Don't start. Invite Bath Time on his show and he'll tell you all about it. Box is saying, in reality check, it's a reality check for us versus City. Hopefully, when we lose again, we don't lose in this manner. Yeah, bro, every time we lose. Martial, comment from Martial, cameo was positive. Says Boxes, come on, scored 2 goals, which is nice. Good comeback. And supporting PSG and Real Madrid. And I want to say hi to Brush as well. Brush is here. And Cement Entertainment, 22 is how you say it. There you go. And sorry, last one here, saying Maguire. Okay. There we go. Okay, guys, we're going to sign out. We really appreciate you guys. I know it's late, but we always do the eye test 10 p.m. every Tuesday. I want to say thanks to Bath Time for coming in. And, 2 days after the game, we got a game against Everton this Sunday, so it's going to be really hard to get our show together for Tuesday evening. But we will do it. We will do it this time around, no doubt about it. But we appreciate you guys. Tell your friends about it. Different view. You might not agree with us, but we love to bump heads on football matters, and that's what eye test is all about. So if you enjoyed it, give us a like button, and don't forget we got a new sponsor called GMS Global Mapping Surveys. If you check out the Man United agenda, we haven't got the logo today, but we will be out there every day, every show that we put out. And Bath Time, final word to you, because we're going to sign out now.
Yeah, good night, everyone. Vaya con Dios.
Vaya con Dios. Do you want to just explain what that means?
Go with God. It's goodbye.
I say glory to God and glory to the eye test as well. Good night, guys. God bless.